everyone, today I'm going to be reacting to Aretha Franklin's Let Me In Your Life album. If you would like to skip right to my reaction, I will have a timestamp on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. And now into a couple quick disclaimers. Number one, this is just my personal opinion and interpretation of the songs. I'd love to hear yours down below. Just keep it respectful, please. Sorry for any background noise or dust particles that may occur throughout this video. I'm going to be stopping and giving my thoughts on the songs as I go along. I'm also going to have to cut out a lot of each song due to copyrights. If you see me looking down at my phone, that is just because I have the lyrics pulled up for each song. Lastly, if I have any notes I forget to add, check down below. I might have a pinned comment. And let's get into it. The first track is Let Me In Your Life. Okay, so my thoughts on this track, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a great way to open up the album. Aretha always knows how to open up the album, so this is just something that felt really inviting to listen to. I thought that her vocal on here was phenomenal, as always, of course. I really like the instrumentation on here as well. I could appreciate the production, and the lyrics were nice as well. So I really like this as the opener for the album. And now into track 2, Every Natural Thing. Okay, so my thoughts on the song, absolutely loved it. Perfectly continuing the momentum that she started off with the first track. I just really love the energy that this song has. The instrumentation on here was fantastic and something that I could really get into. I always really love horns on a song, and so I think that they were just implemented really nicely on this track overall. I believe there's some background singers on here, so of course shout out to them. And the whole call and response thing is cool, and I always feel like they add so much to her songs, so definitely shout out to them, of course. And then I can also really appreciate Aretha's vocal on it as well. You already know she just ate that up, so that was something that was delightful to listen to. I like the lyrics for this, and just something that I quite enjoyed listening to. This is probably going to be a favorite for me on this album. Just really enjoyed it from front to back. And now to track 3, Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing. Okay, so my thoughts on this. Absolutely exquisite to listen to. I thought that the instrumentation on this track was simply phenomenal to listen to, of course. And songs like this are why Aretha earned the title the Queen of Soul. You just really feel every single word that she's saying, and her voice is just something that's so comforting to listen to, and I'm just amazed by everything that she was able to do vocally. So what a treat the song was to listen to. Of course, shout out to the background singers once again, really did their thing here. And I can also appreciate the lyrics on this song. It's probably going to be another favorite for me on this album. She was on fire with this one, loving it. So I just went on Genius and saw that this is a cover. So the song was originally done by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, and she probably changed up the arrangement quite a lot. I noticed that whenever she does covers, she likes to change the arrangement and kind of just like make it suit her style more. I will say that I did see this video on Twitter, and it was Justin Timberlake and Beyonce performing, and I'm pretty sure that it was this song because it definitely sounds familiar. So I was definitely thinking about that reading the title, and I remember like the tempo being a little bit different, I believe. So overall, I can appreciate what she did with her arrangement. And now onto track 4, I'm in Love. Okay, so my thoughts on this track. This is something that was so soothing to listen to overall. Absolutely loved her vocal on it, of course. I thought that the instrumentation on this track was great. I appreciate the lyrics to it as well. So I just went on Genius and saw that this is a Bobby Womack cover. So very intrigued to see how she switched up the arrangement from the original. And now onto track 5, Until You Come Back to Me. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so my thoughts on this track. It was something that was wonderful to listen to. The instrumentation is something that really grabbed my ear and something that was very intriguing to me. So I really love what was done in terms of that. I thought that the production on this song was great. Aretha's vocal was something that was pleasant to listen to overall. Quite enjoyed the track. So listening to this song again for editing this video, I had a few thoughts that I wanted to add in. So first of all, I really love all the chord progressions that are going on here. Just something that is so interesting to listen to musically. I really love a great chord progression, right? And it's definitely reminding me of the song that the Beatles did, and it's called Strawberry Fields Forever. So it might be a similar chord progression. I'm not 100% sure, but it really reminded me of that song. And I can appreciate listening to something and be like, oh, it reminds me of this. And then the second thing that I wanted to say as well is I have said before that I love music from like the 60s and 70s. It's just a really special and unique time period. And so I can just really appreciate music from that era overall. And this is like a prime example of that for me. And listening to this again, I definitely feel like this is going to be like a favorite Aretha song of all time for me, and definitely going to be one that I'm adding on in terms of like my favorites on this album. Something else that I wanted to add is I think that the vocal arrangement for this song is genius, and I'm pretty sure that Aretha had a big hand in helping in terms of the vocal arrangement, so definitely shout out to her. I always really appreciate something that is complex vocally and also something that is interesting to listen to, so that is also something I was like, wow, that is really cool. This song is just impeccable overall, and I love everything that's going on here. It is just a brilliant song in my opinion, so I definitely wanted to add some more thoughts to it, because listening to it again, I'm like, why am I not talking about how amazing this song is? And sometimes listening to songs again, you're like, wait, I can appreciate that a lot more, so figured I'd throw that in. About the song on Genius, it says, Until You Come Back to Me was written by then teenage Stevie Wonder with his mentors Clarence Paul and Morris Broadnax in the mid-1960s. It stayed unreleased until Franklin recorded it in 1973 and took it to number 3 in the US in 1974. It also topped the R&B chart and was certified gold. The song was also a hit in the UK and Australia, where it reached number 37 and 47 respectively. In 2018, soon after Franklin passed, Billboard assembled a panel of critics to rank her greatest songs. That panel chose Until You Come Back to Me as her 7th best. About the song, Aretha says, Stevie and I are old friends, you know. He often drops material by at the studios for me, and this particular song was written with another old friend, Maurice Broadnax. I chose this one for myself, and we cut it in New York. So this is definitely something that was cool to learn overall. Stevie Wonder, definitely one of the best singer-songwriters of all time, of course, really talented as an instrumentalist. And so it's really cool whenever you listen to something and you're like, oh, someone else wrote that for them. And so I really appreciate songwriters, of course, on my channel, as I said time and time again. And what a great songwriter that Stevie Wonder is, and just what a moment. So really glad that she recorded this song, and I really appreciate it overall. And now to track 6, The Masquerade is Over. So my thoughts on this track, something that was beautiful to listen to overall. Wonderful vocals from Aretha, of course. I thought that the instrumentation was something that was well done. I can always really appreciate great strings on a track as well. I like the lyrics for the song too. And now to track 7, With Pen in Hand. Okay, so my thoughts on this track, good overall. Vocals from Aretha are stunning, of course. I can appreciate the lyrics and instrumentation. But I just went on Genius and it says that this is a cover, so it said it was originally by Bobby Goldsboro, so I may have to check out his too once again, see how she switched up the arrangement. But I can appreciate what she did with the song overall. And now to track 8, Oh Baby. Came to me and you showed me the sincerity in your eyes. I turned to walk away, my surprise. Standing open arms, baby, they were for me. I realized that I've been sleeping. You awoke the woman with truth and reality. Oh, your lips wet like the rain. Oh, how it touched me. Yes, I was sleeping. Now I see. Okay, so my thoughts on this track, good overall. I can appreciate the vocal performance and I kind of like how she was like riffing at the end, of course, like the instrumentation and the lyrics as well. So I just went on Genius and saw that she wrote this, so definitely shout out to her as a songwriter, of course. I think that she was a great songwriter. And now to track 9, 8 Days on the Road. Okay, so my thoughts on this track overall, it was something that was a very entertaining listen overall. I really thought that it had a great groove to it, which is something that I always love in a song. And I really liked the instrumentation all the way throughout it. Her vocals were superb as always. And now to track 10, If You Don't Think. If you don't think you can trust anybody's love in this world, trust mine. 'Cause it means so much to me, but you know. I know you've had many disappointments. Anybody love in this world, trust mine. Okay, so my thoughts on this track overall, I thought that it was something that was gorgeous to listen to. Her vocals were outstanding, of course. I also really love the instrumentation on here, and just everything worked together nicely in the track. So I just wrote on Genius and I saw that she wrote this song, so once again, props to her as a songwriter. And now to the 11th and final track, A Song for You. Came out in front and I was high. I'm so much better. Know you're in it. For me, it's not where I hope to be. There's no one more important to me. Can't you see through? Now we're alone and I'm singing this song for you. Yeah, singing to you, baby. Okay, so my thoughts on this track overall, I felt like it was incredible to listen to. Her vocals on here were just out of this world, so I really love what she was doing vocally on the track. Of course, I really love the instrumentation on here, as well as the lyrics, and just the best way to end the album. This is just something that really leaves you satisfied listening to it, which I can appreciate. So I just went on Genius, and it says that this is a cover of a Leon Russell song, so I may have to check out the original to see how she switched it up, but love what she did with it overall. Now I wanted to share my favorite songs on the album with you based off of my first listen. I'm going to say Let Me Into Your Life, Every Natural Thing, Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, and then lastly I'm probably going to have A Song for You. But those are like my absolute favorite songs on the album based off of first listen. Of course, as I listen more, my opinions can change, but this is just how I'm feeling at this moment in time. And now I wanted to share my overall thoughts on this album with you based off of my first listen. So I think that this is a great album to listen to. Her vocals on here were stellar across the board. As always, such a treat to listen to what she's doing vocally all over this album. Once again, shout out to the background singers. I think that they just add so much to the songs that they are on, of course. And then I can also appreciate the lyrics generally. She does have a few songwriting credits, so of course, shout out to her as a songwriter once again. I think that she was a great songwriter, had a really unique style of writing, and so whenever I see her name in the writing credits, it just makes me so happy because I always really appreciate the songs that she wrote. It would have been nice to have another song or two written by her again, just because I think that she was a great songwriter, but the songs that she did write are something that I really enjoy listening to on the whole, and I can appreciate her covers and just the way that she reimagines them in terms of that. And she was just really good at picking material that suits her voice and just something that she could take to the next level with her vocal delivery and interpretation overall in terms of that. I really like the instrumentation on this record with the horns and the strings and all that stuff. It was fitting nicely over everything. Okay, so for some reason in every video doing Aretha, I keep forgetting to mention that she was an excellent piano player. I know this and I just keep forgetting to put it in there. So it's like today I'm going to add in this voiceover, and yes, I know. And so it's really impressive because on a lot of her songs on the album, she's credited for playing piano on them. So of course, shout out to her as a piano player. Very gifted for that. And in general, she doesn't get enough credit for that. I think just because she was such an amazing singer kind of overshadows that, and a great songwriter, of course. But yes, what an amazing piano player. Had to throw that in. And then I thought that the production on this record was good overall, and just something that I really appreciated listening to. That's the thing that I love about soul music, I think. It's just something that is so comforting to listen to, something that makes you feel right at home whenever you play it. And I feel like it's something that is kind of unmatched by other genres of music. The genre that makes me feel the closest to soul is like R&B. They're different in some ways. I'm not really sure what way that it is. If anyone has like a real explanation for that, leave it down below, because I know that those are like kind of similar but different in certain ways. But I really do love soul music and just how it makes me feel overall. And like I said, Aretha is the queen of soul for a reason. I really enjoy listening to it. I would highly recommend listening to it if you have not already. And thank you to the person who recommended that I check this one out. Okay, now I wanted to give an update in terms of my journey with Aretha's discography since the last video that I did on her. So yesterday I listened to 2 of her albums that I haven't heard before. So I listened to the one Laughing on the Outside, I believe that's what it's called. That was another recommendation. That was the same person who me recommended that I listen to this album, so thank you very much, because I really quite enjoyed it. Just something that was so much fun to listen to overall, and I just think that her voice fit really well over like jazz music, and just what she did with that album was great. I really enjoyed that from front to back, so that was a great recommendation. Once again, thank you very much. And then I also listened to, I believe it was the album before this, I believe it's called like Hey Now Hey, The Other Side of the Sky, something like that. Hopefully I'm not messing up the title, but I loved that album, and just something that was great overall. I really like the title track, and I also really like the song called Angel, I believe, off of that album. So those are the two new albums that I listened to. And then in my last video I was like, oh, I really need to listen to Lady Soul again, and so I did. I think I listened to it twice recently, and so my updated thoughts on the album, I think that it's all right. I just can't really get into it the way that I'm getting into her other albums. I just feel like, for example, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You and Aretha Now, I feel like those albums are just way better than Lady Soul. Of course, you have the classic song You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. That song is great, and I also really like another song that she did called Groovin' on there as well. And then I think there's another one that I really like, but I do not remember what the name of it is, so if I do, of course, it'll already have been on the screen right above me so you guys can see what song I'm talking about. But yeah, I noticed that whenever I listen to this album, it doesn't really stick with me. Like, I listen to a song, and then after I finish it, I'm like, oh, what does that song sound like? And I keep forgetting what the songs sound like. Like, for me, they're just not really memorable songs to listen to and want to go back to. Of course, her vocals over them are great, but as songs, I'm just not really getting drawn to them as much as their other material. So that's honestly my thoughts on that album. And you know, I think I'm gonna go back to it again a time or two to see if my opinion can change once again, because this has happened to me with albums. You know, sometimes I listen to stuff and I'm like, I didn't like that the first time, let me come back to it, and then I enjoy it. So maybe I'm just gonna have to keep listening to it and try to get it in my ear more. But based off of those last two listens, I'm like, yeah, this is just not really my particular cup of tea for the most part. Like I said, a few good songs in there, but in comparison to the other albums I've listened to, I tend to prefer this more. So that's my honest thoughts on the Lady Soul album. But yes, that is going to be my updated journey with her discography to those who are curious. And like I said before, the way that I'm doing this is I listen to one of her albums in my free time, and then I do a video, and then in that video I talk about my thoughts on the albums that I've listened to. That way it's kind of a win-win situation. I'm putting out a video for you guys to watch and also documenting like my little reaction to it, and then I'm also giving myself time to enjoy her other work as well, just in my free time, just listening to or whatever and giving you my thoughts there. So I really think it's a win-win situation. So that's how I've been doing it so far, and that's kind of like my updated journey in terms of the discography. And of course, I would love recommendations for what you guys think I should check out next. I'm really tempted to check out the Sparkle album next, just because I've seen a few people saying like, oh, you should definitely check this one out. So I think I might do that one next, or maybe I should do another album. Let me know. I know that you guys want me to do Jump to It for sure, and I will get to that one, but I might do Sparkle first. I'll see, but let me know down below in the comments which one you guys think that I should check out. And also let me know albums that you really like from her earlier period whenever she was with Columbia, because I really would like to finish all of those albums, of course. And then, like I said, in these videos at the ending portion, I will let you guys know like my updated journey with her discography and tell you what I think of the records. And then eventually, hopefully, I want to do a video ranking all of her records from a certain era. So maybe a video ranking all of her 60s albums, her 70s albums, and so on. Something around there. That way you guys can get my thoughts on every single album that she's done, even if I don't necessarily do a reaction on it. But that's going to be it for my reaction to Aretha Franklin's Let Me In Your Life album. And of course, I would love to know what you guys are thinking down below in the comments. What are your favorite songs, memories with the album, any important information about this album that I should know? Let's continue the discussion down below in the comments, of course. Also, if you guys wanted to see more videos on Aretha, I will have a card on the screen right here, and that'll just take you to everything that I've done on her so far, and of course more is to come. And that playlist will also be linked at the end of this video and down below in the description if you guys would like to check that out. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, give it a like down below. It helps me out a lot on YouTube algorithm. I very much appreciate it. You guys can also subscribe right down below if you want to see more videos like this. If you hit the bell, you get a notification to your phone when I post, and that was when brand new videos come out. First link down below in the description will be my latest second channel video, an hour and 22 minutes long, my longest video yet. I talked about a bunch of pop culture topics, as well as recapping every single video that I did on this channel in October. If you want to know more about my creative process, how I come up with videos, all that stuff, I always talk about in the little recaps I do on my second channel. So again, that will be the first link down below in the description if you guys want to check that out. I'm also going to have my Twitter, my Instagram, my Spotify, and my TikTok if you guys would like to follow me on there, and a link to stream this record, of course, if you're interested. Again, I'd recommend this. And lastly, links to educate you guys in important situations. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.